the emphasis they put on the wellness assessment and really digging into what each person's looking for. I mean, we've been using the Trilogy wheel, but this really opens that up so much further now with all the different categories they have there, and letting people, they're putting their own numbers down, so they can't say that we're the ones telling them where they're at or anything like that. And I don't know. That's my big thing, I guess. But again, the simplicity where they're going. Showing. The big thing was the very first day when Meg Sheets was on stage and really putting the emphasis on we as a company, not corporate, and take shape. It is getting that cohesiveness now that it is one big family.
Okay, great. Is there anybody else on the call yet who was at Go Global? I know we have a lot of people on phones.
Hey,
It's
Christina.
Oh, good. Hi, Christina.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. Do you want to share anything?
Okay. Sure. Because for me, it was a lot of bringing things full circle. Go Global is always my favorite event, and I just had a feeling that this one I really, 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 truly needed to be at. I just had that something powerful is going to happen, and it did. And I went in with the expectations of being open to learning like I always do, and really finding one or two things I can walk away with, at least. And I got way more than expected, because I had talked on this talk, 2-3 months ago, Jen, when I told my story about me putting myself in a box and being redundant and changing who I was and not having fun anymore. And what was the one thing that kept coming up all weekend long at Go Global? Go back to simplicity. Have fun. Everything that I have changed and everything that I looked inside was just confirmed that I'm on the right path again. And it was so neat. And we've seen Meg stand up there and be humbled, and we've seen her express, her concern, and this is the way the company is going to go. And this time it was different. I've heard her do that before, but this time it was different. This time I was like, I'm hearing the right thing. It's just reaffirming how I've been feeling and how I've been changing and how the company's changing that way. And then Greg Rex finished up the evening, and he was like, I laid it all out on the table. Like, these were my frustrations. This was what we were overcomplicating. This is what we were doing. And that's what I was personally doing with my business. Mm-hmm. I wasn't being true to myself. I wasn't being that passionate person when I first started the business. I wasn't having fun anymore. I was conforming to the systems and the processes and just being too concerned with everything else. And for Go Global for me was just that huge, all right, we've got this, and the company's got this, and this is exciting because everything I'm feeling, they're feeling, and we're on the right page. And it just was this like wave of excitement for me, because I just feel so many things are coming down the path. I'm super excited about the sports nutrition. I'm super excited about the optimal health, and I just think they're going to be giving us so many more tools. And I absolutely love the fact that we're rebranding to be lifestyle. And I think it's amazing. I think we just have such an amazing offering now that it's going to be even greater. And I can't wait till convention to see everything being launched.
Yep. And speaking of convention, just since you brought it up, anybody on here who has not registered, just make the registration, get your hotel registration. Even if you need to cancel at the last minute, that's fine. But if Go Global was this impactful, convention is 10 times as important. It's like we always say, it's not a lot of rah-rah stuff. We have a great time. But I love what you just said, Christina, that it's really about, this should be fun. This should not be hard work. This should be enjoying yourself and helping people and celebrating their successes and helping them get through their obstacles or their hurdles. but this should not be hard work. And when we get too serious about who, we're health practitioners and we're, all those things that sound great. How much more impactful are we when we say, hey, we're having so much fun with this. You should be doing this too. Mm-hmm. So at convention, I guarantee we'll have a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun at Go Global. We had a lot of fun at Go Global. So, and I won't tell you any stories. You had to be there to
what happens at Go Global stays at Go Global.
Exactly.
Hey, Joan, I just took a look. We were talking about branding. Mm-hmm. Even the Food Journal, it says take shape for life, no fuel by Medifast. But what's really cool is if you look at the back.
What's it say?
It's take shape for life. Nothing about Medifast. Nothing.
All right. Well, I think the company realizes we are the driving force. And if we're going to take them where they want to go, that's what they're going to make public. So I think we're going to see more and more of it, which is all the more reason for people to be joining us right now.
I think there's always been a conflict because, Jody and I have seen it. We'd be out someplace, and so many people have seen the Medifast name and logo. And I think there's overall a very negative connotation attached to that because people have a tendency to, that's Medifast, and they shy away. And being able to do that personal branding, it is just us that they're going to see now. I think it's going to make it a whole lot easier to initiate those conversations and make progress. But to tie on what you were saying and what Christina said too, it was nice to hear top leaders that were saying, this isn't fun anymore. After 8-10 years, they weren't having fun. They were, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? And a lot of like us, ED's regional directors that have struggled have been in that point of, do I continue? Don't I continue? Well, you get a lot of confirmation when you hear somebody else that's a global or presidential say, you know what, I wasn't having fun and we need to do something different. So if they were having struggles, we shouldn't be so hard on ourselves for being in that same position.
Yeah, that's a great point, Harry. And you know what? Anything in life, it's never a straight uphill climb. There are always going to be places where you fall back. In fact, they call it, there's a name for it. It's called the J curve. So in business, when they talk about business growing, you go through this J curve where things go down. Mm-hmm. And, you experience that, what's going on, what's wrong. You kind of hit bottom. This sucks. I really hate it. And then it starts to turn up, and then it goes, then suddenly it's like, wow, this is fun again. And, Christina, you're in that, the top, going up that J curve right now. You're getting all the excitement back and having fun, and things are popping all over the place. And then things will continue to grow a little, and then you'll experience another J curve, which means things dip down a little bit and they come back up. So it's natural in whatever business you're in that this kind of stuff happens. So if you stop beating yourself up about what you're not doing, unless in fact you're not doing something. But if you stop beating yourself up, and that's okay. Sometimes you're not doing it because life interferes. But it's really about having a community and supporting each other and having fun and really helping those new people coming on board to understand how much of an impact they can make with this in other people's lives and in their own lives too. I on Dr. Anderson's call last night, the A-Team call, I read the quote that I guess Doug Wood said, which is, that if we don't offer people this opportunity, if all we do is give them the 5-in-1, help them lose weight, give them the 5-in-1 program, it's like we see somebody drowning in the water, we're in the boat, and we toss them that life preserver, but we never pull it in. We just, the boat keeps going, and we just leave them out there floating in the water. They've got a life preserver, but it's not going to last forever. And if we offer, if we offer that whole packet, it gives them, everything. So that was one thing.
9:15, 9:30.
Is somebody talking? We might have to ask somebody to mute. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention, one of my great takeaways, and again, it's a very basic thing, but Terry Miller is just a genius in getting people started. And and over the years I've resisted kind of following the structured path, if you will, because that's just my nature. And what she said was in one of her presentations is that when she brings somebody on board, she really does follow a very structured process, because if she does those things in a structured manner, then she can say to that person when they become a coach, remember when I first got you started, I ordered the variety pack for you. And remember how I talked to you the first day, and then the second day and the third day, and then remember how so when you're saying to that person, remember how we did this, what you're saying to them is, see, you already know how to coach because we did it. So if they can remember you demonstrating those behaviors, it speeds up their learning curve so much because you were consistent with them. And that is one of the things that I think that I personally need to work on much more when I'm getting somebody started, is that consistency. Truly, Terry says she never orders anything except the variety pack unless somebody has an allergy or something, or gluten. They need to order gluten-free, in which case she gets the gluten-free variety pack. But she never goes through and says, well, would you like maple brown sugar oatmeal or peach, or she never does that. She straight across the board, because that way people can duplicate that. So it just, I've heard it over and over for years, but it really made an impact again this time. And so I'm coming home and approaching some of my new clients very differently.
It's kind of cool that they
And
made.
you know what, Joan?
What?
It's been my experience that when you let people order because they insist, the very thing that they think they're going to like, they don't end up liking anyway.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, they're like, oh, I love chili. Let me get your chili. Well, guess what?
Uh-huh.
Our chili tastes nothing like the chili that you make.
That's
Exactly. They're expecting it to taste a certain way, what they're used to, and it's not going to.
No, exactly right. Exactly.
I was going to say, I love the fact that they made two out of three of the optimal kits kosher. So, you got a kosher person, you don't have to think about it. That's not an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's a big issue for me.
Oh, up top. I'm sorry, my son's coming in looking for something. Okay, and I'll bring you more. He's got allergy season.
Oh,
He needed tissue. So what? We've got about 5 more minutes. So anything else that somebody wants to bring up? Anybody that would like help in any area, or something that they want to share with the group that they think would really be helpful for all of us?
Yeah, I would like, and I guess a little clarity on how to utilize the optimal assessment. I know, yes, we use it. Yes, there are questions, but I always have to have kind of certainty with this stuff. So, if you could kind of talk through what that looks like.
Let me ask first, is there anybody who's using it who's had terrific success that wants to share? I don't want to always be the one talking.
Well, we're implementing it now. We weren't using it previously, but just from the workshop that we sat through, that we were talking about this assessment, it's really getting the people to really be honest with themselves and figure out where they are. But then in each of the categories, whether it's healthy body, healthy mind, healthy finances, take your low points and ask them, okay, what do you want to do to bring that score up? And how are you going to feel once you accomplish that?
So let's go back.
That really gets them thinking about themselves and getting them to understand that we're here for them. It's not all about us and signing up a client. We are looking out for their best interest.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess my question is, okay, I'm very process oriented. I like to have a process. So, we're there saying hello, finding out their why. How is this piece physically, conceptually, practically used? Like, what you have this thing in your hand. What are you doing with it?
What I heard people doing was they're emailing it to everybody first thing. I mean, even before they've even sat down and had that the long conversation, they're sending this out saying, "Here's the ebook. Here's the survey. I want you to fill this out, and when we talk next week, we're going to discuss your results if that's okay with you." And that you're just taking the whole trilogy wheel and opening it up much bigger than what it initially was.
So that's before you actually are meeting to do the presentation,
absolutely,
people have this in their hand.
Yes.
Well, and Cliff, if you were going to be doing a group presentation, it's terrific to be able to, as people come in, say, we're going to go over this in a minute. I'd like you to assess, answer these questions, rate yourself on all of them, and then add up your results, or we'll add them up together. But give it to them as they're coming into that meeting. You fill it out, and even for the health people you're talking to, who are thinking about becoming health coaches, it's a great way to help them start to think about what we really do offer. And then we did this. Nancy Strauss had a meeting at her house about a month or 2 months ago, I guess, and we gave it to all the people that were there. We asked them all to let's talk about finances. So take a minute, or healthy body. So take a minute, and I walked through each of the questions. So I don't have it in front of me, but I asked the first question: give yourself a rating. So we went through all of those, and then
if you're there.
And then at the end of that first part, healthy body, we said, so who got? Does anybody want to share their score? And then a few people raised their hands and said, yeah, I'm really surprised. When I think about my body, healthy body this way, there's a lot of stuff I'm not doing right. So it really, and then we talked, and then we had some people who were at that meeting who were health coaches who had lost weight. Now we're, bringing in some additional income and things of that sort. And I asked them, to do theirs where they are right now, but think about where were they before they started on the program. So it's a great way to start dialogue around the different components of what we offer.
Now, what about the one-on-one, meeting? You've met someone, you've done the approach. You're meeting with them. You could be sitting at Dunkin' Donuts or in their home or wherever. What are you doing with that in that situation? Are you?
I'd ask that. What I would do, Cliff, is Christina, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I've been trying to jump in because this is one of the things that, again, was a confirmation for me. Because in January, when we went to the super regional and he first did that assessment, I was like, okay, I've always used the trilogy wheel, but now I can take it to a whole other level. So I've been actually utilizing this in every single situation you guys just talked about on this call in the last 5 minutes since January, and it works fantastic. So I have done my 10-minute presentations at my networking groups with this. I've handed it out to everyone, and I've done the trilogy wheel. Because if I'm in a quick scenario, I want to use the trilogy wheel. If I'm in a one-on-one setting, I am going to use the actual assessment that they gave out at Go Global and that Dr. Anderson's been doing, the more in-depth one. And it's as simple as that. You want to read the person. You want to look at what scenario that you're in. If you're doing a quick meeting, then the trilogy wheel is a great quick glance. And then you use the more in-depth one with your follow-up call or your follow-up meeting. I have been always focused on, okay, it's either a client meeting or it's a coach meeting. Well, since January, I'm like, well, forget this. We have this wonderful health assessment. We have the trilogy wheel we can take to another level. Offer the full trilogy right out of the gate. So one-on-one meetings or group meetings or whatever, we're offering the full trilogy from here on out with those two tools. So I actually use them together, if that makes any sense. And then I am asking the questions of what can we do? What is one or two things that we can do together that's going to help raise your score in this area or that area?
That's
And a couple months ago, I did a training on this too. And I actually, during my client success and my coach success stories, I utilized this and asked the coach or the client who was up there telling their story, where were they and where are they going in relationship to that assessment? So I actually used it as a guide to help run a meeting too.
Mhm.
Yeah, it
So
is.
you have to keep people.
It's a great, I'm telling you, it is such a great tool. And if you're just sincere and really just exploring, where are they on these things? Is it satisfactory? Are they happy where they are? Would they like something better? Would they like to improve those scores? And then if so, I love what you just said, Christina. What are one or two things that we can do together to help you get there? So it's not that it's not an assessment to find faults and flaws. It's really for them to start to think about, is this what I want? And if not, what am I going to do? So, and we obviously have a solution for them in all of those areas.
And John, can I add one more thing? So I'm usually, when I'm meeting one-on-one or doing, the client or coach presentation, I'm actually asking those questions. They're giving me 90% of what I need for the client profile anyway. So I'm actually filling in while they're talking and answering those questions. And then I only have a little bit more to ask them. So they're giving us all the information that we absolutely need to know what nook and cranny they fit in and what offering we can give them.
That's a great point. You're absolutely right. That's a wonderful thing to even think of, because sitting down and filling out the questionnaire, seems so clinical. This is much more just really kind of exploring with them. I like that. Thank you, Christina.
Do you know if they're doing any like any video training on this thing, or maybe anything that they've maybe recorded from Go Global, or?
I don't know that they're going to be doing any video training. I would think they would, but that's just another reason to go to conventions. So, because I'm sure they're going to work a lot with it, and I know they'll have new stuff by the time we get there.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else have anything? We're coming up. We're actually past our 9:30 mark, and I'd like to keep this.
Hi, Joan. It's Mary Tabbitt. How are you?
Hey, Mary. I'm good. How are you?
I'm on the phone. I'm sorry. I was actually stuck. Well, not stuck. I was in the office at the gym, and I was meeting a lot of people tonight, and some new prospects for health coaches from trainers. And the one thing that I wanted to, I was so happy about is the 3 and 3. We've actually did that before the program actually took place, because there are a lot of people in the gyms right now that are pretty fit and maintained and everything. So we were already kind of coming up with something for those kind of clients.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw this was just amazing. It was just perfect, because it was already figured out. What we've done too is find out how much they exercise, what their height and weight was. We did that kind of through Ed, because he's been a trainer for a long time, and he's learned a lot about nutrition and about helping and training people. So this is really, really important for anybody that just needs to get healthy. We have a client that was either going to go on medication if his numbers didn't change with his doctor in like 3 months. If it didn't change, they were going to put him on medication for diabetes. And because we figured it out and did this 3 and 3 like we have right now, that's so available to us, his numbers came down. He didn't really even need to lose weight. It wasn't a weight issue. It was more of a health issue. So this is really amazing. And so I just wanted to let you know about that.
Has anybody else gone on? If you haven't, go to your website, click on the Optimal Health stuff, and it'll help you calculate your TEE. And then based on your TEE, you go over and it'll give you kind of a menu for the day, what you should be doing. Should you be doing 3 and 3? How many calories should you be taking in? It's terrific. It's a great
Awesome.
It's so easy. And you can do Pinterest, and if you pin it, which it shows right on there on that front on your front page, pin it, and then your name, actually your because it's connected to you, it goes right to you. So if somebody clicks on it, it goes right to your website.
There you go.
I checked it out today, and it was amazing. It came right to me. So,
That's
and then you
perfect.
can write little comments underneath it. Yeah. So, that's just another tool that we have that we got, and I was thrilled to see that.
All right. Yeah. So, I mean, there's so much out there, but yeah, I got to tell you, the most important thing is taking action, getting out and talking to people, just
Yep.
having a plan. And so many of you, I see what's going on with you and your businesses. I see the activity. I see the excitement. That's really what we all want, because that means that you're really touching more people, and truly you're having more fun, as well as making more money.
Right.
But yeah, that's great. Thank you for sharing that, Mary. That's terrific. I didn't know about that with the Pinterest.
Yeah.
Cool. Anybody else have something that they want to share with the group before we log off? I have to apologize. I forgot to record like the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes of the call. But it's been on for at least the last maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Yeah, Johnny?
Yeah?
I was wondering if Johnny could just spend a minute, instead of me kind of, updating. I'm curious what his thought is, about what's happening. But I don't know if he can hear me. Johnny, you there?
I'm here.
We can hear you. Okay.
I kind of gave a little synopsis of, what you were doing, but I'm curious if there are any gems that you might want to share with the group, as a gym owner.
Are you saying, Cliff, that you gave a synopsis tonight, or you mean
Yeah,
prior?
before you got on, I said, what's been going on, with the coaches and that we're starting new people, etc. But I just didn't know if there's anything that you wanted to share, just because you're the gym owner, and if you had anything that you just thought would be helpful to everybody.
If Johnny, if we're going out and meeting with a new potential health coach who is a personal trainer or who works in a gym or owns a gym, just any kind of insight that you think would be helpful for us to know in getting them started.
Okay, I'm having a hard time hearing. I'm just gonna have to.
Okay.
I'll give my feedback. Okay. Well, as Cliff probably mentioned, we brought on the Take Shape for Life. We implemented it about a month ago, maybe 4 to 6 weeks, and we have had a number of clients to take part in, and we have been very successful as far as getting gym members to feel fit, to have more energy, and also to lose weight. And I'm just very happy that I had the opportunity to meet with Cliff, and we've decided to move forward with this. It's been within this very short time span, it's been very successful. But I think earlier you had mentioned about the J curve, and it's funny because I feel like I hit that every week, so to speak. But this definitely has helped me as far as I feel more rejuvenated, and I wake up with every morning feeling excited and getting back inside the gym and helping people get fit.
That's wonderful. Yeah, because now you don't have just physical activity. You have something that's actually going to help them lose weight. And that's why people often come to the gym.
Yeah, you can deliver on the promise.
That's correct.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate it. So everybody, we went way over our allotted time, but I just want to thank you all for getting on the call. And I also want to just really encourage each and every one of you to reach out to me if I can personally help you with anything. Many of you are really good at that. Cliff, you're great at it. Christina's great at it. I get calls from a bunch of you, but every single one of you, I'm invested in trying to help you achieve what you want to achieve. So if I don't have the resources, I probably can get them from you because I happen to have a really good coach. So just don't hesitate. Reach out to me, okay?
You got it.
All right, everybody. Have a great night. Have a great month. And we'll do this the first Wednesday of June. Same time, same place.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Have a great night.
Thanks,
Good
John.
night.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye, John Boy.
Bye, Jim Bob.
Yes. Good night, Mary Ellen.
Good night, Grandpa.
Night, Grandma.